Yes, ndewo onye ọbụla ga m ntị, Chukwu gọzie gị n'ebe abụọ ọla ị nọ nọ. So n'ụbọchị taa, the comment m chọrọ ime attach to this video. Achọrọ m ịhapụgodi nwatakịrị ihe gbasara the formation and then the context of the Ụmụfakaja as a union. So taa achọrọ m ikwu nwatakịrị about the post civil war era in the village. So after the war, the federal government may announce onye ọbụla nwere ọrụ, especially with the federal government, should be able to return back to their jobs. So they had in mind those who are somehow attached with any of the ministries before the war began. So those people should be able to go back and resume their jobs. So considering the size of the casualties in Igbo and the ill treatment in Igbo encounter during the war at the north, so this probably was the result or the consequences of the Igbos. The Bekanyi in particular did not return to the north. So majority of them shifted to the south. And Lagos began to be the next center of attraction for the movement of Igbo people after the Civil War. So including my father. My father moved to Lagos. So leaving my mom in the village with 5 children. So the 5 children were Mike, myself, Chinedu, Stella, Najo at that time. So life was very hard for every person in the village, which is normal because we were Wula, and nobody expected that things would just skyrocket and became good. So there was hardship in the village, and you can imagine a strong woman my mother was, handling such number of children all by herself in the village while my dad was away. Yes, everything was in short supply. There was no money. The money of the Biafrans were worthless. The federal government were trying to reinstate their own currency as a national currency for the country. So it was in short supply. So the only alternative was to embark on some kind of farming. So that was where my mom focused. So majority of the things we ate was coming from the farm. So and you can imagine also during that era that the war just finished, and then so it was like it was a risk going to the farm to till the land. So there were all kinds of things in the soil. There were bombs. There were bullets. There were there were bodies of soldiers buried, half buried in the soil. All kinds of things was happening. So, but people had to eat by trying to cultivate. So, and the supply of water was only from the stream at Umewere. We had to go to Umewere to fetch water, and the food came from the cassava. So. And additional support as far as my family was concerned was Mama's ability to sew. So she was having this Singer sewing machine, which was all the time Chukwemebere machine, and he was not having any fault at that time. So the machine was okay. People shebe ebe otulobi achịta akwa shebe ndeke ebe akụkọ ahịa achịta akwa. People, because of the poverty at that time, people were sewing, trying to patch up their clothes here and there, and that kept my mom busy. And a little coins was coming in from there. And during the market days, the Shorianguru, a para machine, apart from my mom, maybe Morianguru, ya janro ngoje do. Na adokwa adonye jacheta onye nwere money for new cloth at that time. So ndị na-achọrọ ịdụ cotton, ndị chọrọ ịpachi cotton, ndị chọrọ ịpachi tablecloth, ndị chọrọ ịpachi uniform ụmụaka, uwe ejeji okpere, nika adọwala, brazier, all those kind of a thing na apachi. So we thank God Chineke ji nke ahụ were sustain anyị. So while our mom was waiting for informations from Lagos concerning our father's whereabouts and his welfare as well. So so that was it. It was expected that so many families were in that kind of a situation after the war. So the job of going to Mewere to fetch water was rested on me, and as far as and also other kind of house chores was my own responsibility. Yeah, I remember very fine. Ozororo mama kutem mparabo msone anyị jeje ivunjapụ early in the morning here. So anyị na-ejije with agadi m even ụra nọbe m n'anya ma para abụọ were soro my mama m epụrụ n'ihi with cutlass na-asụgheju ụzọ agwụgwa nshọ ụzọ dị wide o, because you can imagine during that after that war footpath was just even like gị na-agaje ọhịa nọ gị n'aka nri nọ gị n'aka ịpa, you have to wade yourself through the forest. So and early in the morning ikirigi nọchabe na akwụkwọ mama na-apịa tuje ya nakwa na-asụje mmụọ nakwa na-esuje ya. So anyị eje vụjapụ anyị eje ebe akọrọ japụ ụkwanshọ ebe akọrọ japụ ụkwanshọ around dịkwa far away, sometime more than 1.5 kilometers. Then I just fucha the japo apare alo ulo akwa ahio oshishi ọkụ oshishi aga eyuru eji mụọ ọkụ akwa ya mama ma apara ji japo then mụọ akwa n'ọkụ anya na-alọta mgbe ụfọdụ mgbe m ji ya bịa adịkwula m strong ịpa japo ma apara dị japo mama m ya chirikwa n'oshishi were ji na-esota m. So onye alọdụọ a ga-aba japo a saa ya kwọọ ya. So and then by that time on a machine, this kind of machine but that time it was not even available. Not available at that time. Greater 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 original ya the metal akawacha gaga gina mbo for the brana for the mix of inside the cassava. So that was it. So and then you can imagine ndị nke mụ na ha wụ ndị like Mike Wapara, Chinedu Kwanu Kesu Amne. So these two were treated as they were as princes, how prince. So Aka Hejle Menadote. So the only person that was around to do those things was Chukwudi. Angeje umewere je chụda mmiri amụfụbila mkpeji agba igwe aga m ewere mmiri mekekwasị ya n'elu igwe apụwe ya n'ugwu gị pụọ mmiri ya n'ugwu ugwu mmiri umewere pụli ya fụda n'ụzọ gamracha life dị hard. So at that time enwere mgbe ụfọdụ ị ga-ewere igwe kede ịhapụ igwe na ama shigi na je eji drone kuda mmiri na-abịa bịa kekwasị ya n'eluigwe. Ị nwere ike mgbe efu ala ndị ochie epụrụla igwe gị, so ị ga-apụrụ igwe ahụ pụba ya n'ebe akụkụ mmiri, then were mmiri ahụ pali ya chọọ onye ga-enyere gị aka ekekwasị ya were rọba were ike ya ị ga-apụgide ya pụfụta ya n'ụzọ. Life was very very hard. So and the process of cassava into garri was the only way a ga-eji were ji chọta ha anyị ga-eri ni. So chukwu na-emekwa n'ebere mmadụ akwanye ego were ji from the sewing machine ya je zụta azụ ma ọzụ ahụ crayfish I'm talking about were ji mee ofe. So and struggling as well, mama made sure that yes I ga-eje school. So from Monday to Friday mama ga-ejikwa anyị ejikwa everybody we have to go to school. Onwe ha ga-ejide for lunch ekekwa ego eji zụrụ anything, no. The highest aga m ewere garị were chiga n'ime akpa mee ticha aki were chiga na the other side of the pocket gile school uniform garị ijila akọla ya akọ n'ime na aka etiri eti. So agụgụ mam mewere garị chiga n'ọnụ mewere aka were taa a cup of water bango mmiri. So that is food until malodo ụlọ after school. So mama was struggling and managing the family And Sunday morning, there, Mama ejikwa upon that hardship, Mama drew us close, very close to God. Chidukwa Sunday morning, Mama kwado anyị to go to church. We went to church and prayed and look around. Muta mangune nde shi Lagos law from Asia la mo Igbo any other place. Mangune the later Papa de era. So and I did lucky. Muta onye shi Lagos law collected the later. Mama took that opportunity to know how good we were progressing in our education. Kadi umwe ndega go later. We don't need to go and start looking for somebody from outside to read Mama's letter written by Papa. Yes, we were doing good. Mike was able to read. Myself, I was able to read. And I got the letter to our mom. Yeah, Mada and Papa and Kuka. Sometime Mama Mama Nadego, which my father has sent. In other times, there was no money. Mama Nyama Ogologosun. But we stayed closer to God as Catholics, attending St. Teresa's Catholic Church at Imoringuru. So these were the two things that kept the family going. The churches at St. Teresa's and our school also the same place during the weekdays. So as we are surviving and also praying and waiting for words to come from our dad, to whether Modi or the okay, is there any money that will be sent to enable our mother to manage up with life? So life was though extremely difficult, but at that time I really thank God. Mama was very strong and determined to pulling the family together, like most women wouldn't have been able to do at that time. So she was strong. She stood by our father and maintained the family. So and on the part of our father, Papa was in Lagos, struggling, working at the post office, and then with a very small salary. And then Chukwemeni Ebere, he secured an accommodation somewhere at Itire, and they begin to save up money. And that money he was able to send back to the village for Mama to prepare to move his children to stay with him in Lagos. So Mike was staying in school and was doing very good. At that time, he was attached with Nakubon, who was at that time the headmaster of the primary school at Imorengu. So Mike was with him and getting ready to for some years before he will now go into college. So there was no need for Papa asking Mike to come with Mama. So and also for another reason being that the accommodation Papa secured in Lagos was just a small room, not wider than 2.5 square meters, which will not be enough to contain the whole family. So this was an inevitable circumstances that led to Papa deciding to split his family. So Mike was kept in the village while Mama took the remaining children to stay with our dad in Lagos. So my brothers, in my next video, I will begin to examine my father's early life in Lagos and that of our family. Where did Papa went wrong in deciding to keep Mike to stay in the village? And Agamneya a major ender in for me to be able to open up my diary to let people to know, because all the important for us is or just in my own research ijimata otu miniji ba opibogoro. So Agamneya dig into it, but she from that era na kohalukwane dagaru to the situation anyị nọ n'ime ya taa na my father's children. So ekelela m gị stay with me in these stories and as I'm going to continue to open up my diaries so that you will know what is going on in my father's house. May God bless you as you listen. Thank you very much.